So we're going to start off by looking at an overview of payroll management. And the first conversation you need to get familiar with is, what is payroll management? So when we're talking about payroll management, what do we mean when we're talking about payroll management? So there's a difference between the use of the technical word payroll and payroll management. So when we talk about payroll, we're saying this is the list of employees within an organization and the amount in terms of salaries, wages that are being paid to each of them. So when you say what's the payroll of your organization, you're trying to talk about list of people and how much each person is earning in terms of salaries, in terms of wages. So the difference between a salary and a wage: a salary is more monthly, fixed at the end of the month, while wage has to do with piecemeal. If it's not given at the end of the month as an holistic amount, maybe given hourly or given daily or weekly, that's what we call a wage. Then benefits are things that are accrued to the employee by virtue of that relationship in terms of the employment relationship. Now, in order to manage the payroll of organization, in order to manage the list of people and their salaries and do all the necessary deductions that needs to be done, there is a need for payroll management, or what some other individuals call payroll administration. So payroll management is the process consisting of the calculation of salaries and statutory deductions. So the process where you want to calculate the salaries accrued to each staff and the calculation of all the necessary statutory deduction in terms of when we are talking about your payee tax, pay as you earn, statutory deduction in terms of your contributory pension, statutory deduction in terms of your national housing fund, statutory deduction in terms of your NSITF, ITF, all of them. Now, some of these statutory deductions would be deducted from the employee's salary, while some of them are incurred by the organization. But as any individual in human resources or holding a payroll function or trying to get into HR or payroll, you need to recognize that statutory deductions are usually in two forms. There are some that the employee, it will be deducted from the employee's pay, while some will be deducted or paid on behalf of the employee by the organization. So NSITF and ITF is paid on behalf of the employee by the organization. The act regulating each of these rules say the employee is not even supposed to pay. So the employer pays on behalf of the employee. But your payee, pay as you earn, would be deducted from the employee's salary. Pensions, which is contributory pensions, the employee part will be deducted from the employee's salary, as well as the employer would pay their own employer contribution to the necessary PFA. So at that point, it's talking about the deduction. Now, when all of these deductions have been made, before deduction, we call it gross pay. After deduction is net pay. So once you remove your statutory deduction from your gross pay, then you have your net pay, which is what we usually call take-home pay. Now, the disbursement of this process is all about payroll management. So the next conversation when it comes to payroll management is the HR that should be responsible of finance or accounts. So administering employee salary is not an easy task. We need to recognize that. So usually HR and account department usually work together to calculate. So when it comes to keeping the employee record, when it comes to keeping what salary each employee should earn, that is resident in human resources, while the payment and the disbursement of the salary is in finance. Now, to a large extent, depending on the growth of that organization, there are some organizations that till tomorrow, they believe only finance must handle payroll. It's not a right or wrong answer. But the current trend today is because of the confidentiality of salary information that should resident with HR. And that is why for most organizations, both departments are responsible. Now, in some organizations that are as their payroll automated, you even see situations whereby HR can actually send the payments and upload that to the HRS, and the payment is automated. All finance needs to be sure about to tell HR is to say, how much is our wage bill for this month? 20 million. Do we have 20 million to pay the salary? Where are we paying the salary from? And we're good to go. So both departments is responsible.